Oh, greetings, adventurers. Third time's a charm with the sneezing and the hay fever and all that. So, this is DM Kurt. And so, last week I told you I was working on my own sci-fi RPG, writing it up. And the question is why? Why write your own? And why sci-fi? And I know some of y'all have no interest in sci-fi RPGs for the most part. That's okay, they're not everybody's cup of tea. In fact, sales numbers from all I can gather, uh, there's just less demand for sci-fi RPGs because fantasy ones have outsold them forever, for as long as there have been RPGs. But there's also a great big supply of fantasy RPGs too, so they're both meeting the same supply and demand ratios. There are a ton of fantasy RPGs out there to fulfill that much greater demand. And there is, I'll admit, there is a fair handful of sci fi RPGs to which I don't really need to make this. I could go find a copy of whatever I wanted to play. There's stuff based on Star Trek, Star Wars, Star Frontier, Star Finder, Stars Without Numbers, you name it. So why am I doing my own thing? Well, two reasons. The first is when I talked about making my own sci-fi RPG, my son, who's really into sci-fi, said, "Hey, man, that's awesome. Let's do it." And so now we're working together on a project, and with his, I mean, he's a teenager. He hasn't played some of the really old games, and so he's not going to make up these copies of, this is not really Adrelicite. This is not really Rusk. This is not really Yazarians from Star Frontiers. I'm not really copying them. No, it's totally unique stuff, but, you know, no copy whatsoever. Awesome. So we got that fresh perspective. And it's also the working together on a goal. Awesome. I'm enjoying that. I think he is too. So that's really the first reason. I mean, if tabletop gaming is about being with your friends and having a good time, it's about that bonding with, well, your friends and family, or friends you've just barely met. And even if they're total strangers that, you never meet again because you're doing a random uh, game at a local game store, you still had that time to sit down with somebody and play, just for the love of the game, you know, and that's awesome. My second reason. Okay, so if you've been following what's going on in tabletop stuff, the drama, the news, the this, that, and the other, you've probably heard of new TSR under Justin Lanasa and Dave Johnson, etc. And they've been talking about doing Star Frontiers, new generation, next Genesis, new Genesis. Anyway, but a new game with Star Frontiers as the main header, and we haven't seen hide nor hair of this thing. We've only seen leaked PDFs and screenshots of things, and no product on the shelves. And this is a company who has some monetary backing. Mr. Lanasa has a successful career in, I believe, a tattoo shop and some real estate development. So he can put a big chunk of change behind this and hope he gets somewhere with it. But we haven't seen product from them, and they've been teasing this out for a while. So my challenge to myself was, if I'm working a full-time job and my co-writer is working at least a part-time job, can we two people, can we write up a role-playing game from scratch that does everything a role-playing game needs to do without just copy pasting other people's stuff? But can we write it from scratch in a shorter time and get it ready, get it playable? Okay. Now, neither of us are professional artists, so the art problem would not be solved, and neither of us are publishing houses, so we won't have it printed. but can we at least get it to basically a PDF form of just the meat of the game, working mechanics, balanced races or classes, a balanced system for character advancement, a workable combat system and skill system? Can we do that? Even though we're not professionals, and we're getting a start of basically July 1st of this year, which is about 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks, I think we're doing pretty good. And that's a personal challenge. What can you do, and how short of a time, and how well can you do it? So that's my why. That's why we're working on this project. And that doesn't mean I'm giving up on the fantasy stuff. Tomorrow, I'm going to be running a second edition D&D game over at the local game store for whomever will show. We have one player who will be there for sure, and one player who is in Utah for a couple weeks. And he'll come back and when his little thing's over, which is cool. So, yeah, I mean, I'm never giving up on D&D, not at least not any time in the near future. But there it is. DM Kurt out. Please like and subscribe.